Hi, everyone. Good morning and welcome to, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. Welcome to this week's message from the truck. I'm the Reverend Paul Poulton. I'm the rector of St. Augustine of Canterbury and chaplain to the Sent, God's Church Deployed. It's wonderful to be here with you on this incredibly foggy day here in Windsor. It's amazing how thick this fog is out there. I'm going to talk about that in just a couple of minutes, but for right now, just a warm welcome to you as we join together and have another conversation here this morning. It has been a crazy week around our country. Congratulations to all those who put their names forward and ran wonderful campaigns and such for all the different municipal offices around the province of Ontario. Congratulations to those of you who are now in office, and thank you to those of you who offered your campaign, and we'll try again next time. It certainly was quite a heated discussion wherever you went, and we certainly appreciate all of the important work that you're doing in bringing attention to things like homelessness and food stability and food security. So thank you to all of you who have been part of that journey. This morning, I made my way into the church, and as I was coming in here this morning, of course, there was a fog advisory, so I decided to ride the truck instead of riding the bike, and it was absolutely incredible how foggy it was here in Windsor. It was like the clouds just rolled right in and just covered everything. It was one of those mornings where, as you approached a traffic light, it was so foggy you couldn't see what color the traffic light was showing, almost until you were right on top of it. It's one of those kinds of days. And one of those kinds of days as well, and I'm going to have a little bit of a trucker's rant here for a moment. You're going to have to excuse me. But for those of you who drive white-colored vehicles and gray-colored vehicles and dark-colored vehicles, put your headlights on when it's a day like today. Oh my goodness, it was unbelievable how many people I came across on my way to the office here this morning, on my way to the church, that didn't have their headlights on. In fact, when I came up Paulette, so for those of you who know the city of Windsor, Paulette is a couple of fairly significant city blocks between Tecumseh and Wyandotte. So traveling north on Pauletteville or Paulette Ave, I counted 27 vehicles going in the other direction, so two major city blocks, 27 vehicles heading in the opposite direction of me, and only 9 of them had their headlights on. Only 1 in 3 vehicles were traveling with their full headlights on a day where you could barely make out what color the traffic lights were when you were sitting in an intersection. So put your headlights on, for crying out loud. There you go. Truckers rant over. But you know what? It's interesting. As I was watching those people driving around, and as I was noticing the folks that were choosing to just put their four-way flashers on instead of running their headlights, which I suppose is good in some ways, but not great in others. As I was driving around, I thought to myself, how interesting is it that when we choose to put our headlights on, we're not doing that really for our own benefit. So on a foggy day like today, if I have my headlights on and I can put on my high beams or my fog lights or whatever else I might happen to have, it's not going to help me to see any clearer. No matter how much light I have emitting from my vehicle, it's not going to make a lick of difference during daylight hours on a foggy day like today. But the lights that I'm shining, the lights that I'm showing the world, are for the benefit of the other drivers on the road. And yes, it does in many ways protect me, because it means that they can see me and maybe they won't run into me. Excuse me. But the reality is that when I'm shining the lights on my truck, I'm really shining the lights for the benefit of others. And as I was thinking about that, I thought, my goodness, how much is that like our Christian journey? How much is that like when we hear the words in our baptismal service, when we hear, "Let your light so shine before others that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven"? How many ways is it apparent for us to realize that when we show the light of Christ in the world, we're not doing it for our benefit? We're not doing it so that others can see us or so that we can see God more clearly. We're doing it so that others may see us and see that light that maybe they might say, I think I want to emit that light too. It's amazing, really. And as I was driving along, I thought to myself, how important is it for me to share this on the message from the truck this week? First of all, because it's, trucker safety, and why not add that bit of information? But it is amazing to me how many times we as Christians, we as a Christian community, allow our light to shine for no benefit to ourselves at all. We're not letting our light shine so that we can see God more clearly. We're not letting our light shine so that we can understand the scriptures more clearly. We're not letting our light shine so that we get extra jewels in our heavenly crown. No, we're letting our light shine so that others can see us. In the meantime, that may draw them to us and may draw them to conversation with us and might get them to the point where they say, why do you believe this? Why do you do this? And then we can start to have those deeper conversations that are more than just the light shining in the wilderness. So, my friends, let your light shine. Let your headlights run for the benefit of others. Let your Christ light shine for the benefit of others. Let's do this work not for our own glory, not so that we can see better, but so that others can see and follow and be caught up in the brilliance of that light. That's it for that message for this morning. So this week, of course, we've got lots of stuff going on this week again as well. Of course, tomorrow, Sunday, October the 30th, is St. Augustine of Canterbury's 10th anniversary. So come on out and join us. If you're wanting to just join us for a quiet spoken worship, join us at 9 o'clock. We'll be doing a service of morning prayer. But if you're a person who would like to be part of our big celebration, our 10th anniversary celebration, join us at 10:30 tomorrow morning. That's Sunday, October 30th at 10:30. Join us for that celebration Eucharist as we give thanks to God for the place from which the light has shone. As we continue to offer our ministry from this place for the last decade and into the next decade. If you're going to join us for worship, you might as well stick around and join us for lunch. We're going to be having a luncheon, sandwiches and squares and all of those kinds of wonderful things. That'll be starting at noon. If you are happen to be going to your own worship service that morning and aren't going to be able to join us at 10:30, come on out and join us for lunch. There will be lots of food there, and we would love to have you there, particularly as friends who have joined us through the ministry of the Sent over the course of our COVID time, as well as those folks who have just maybe not been here for a while. Come on out and celebrate with us as we celebrate this 10 years together. Of course, Monday is Halloween, All Hallows Eve. So we take the time and celebrate with the kids as they get their costumes all set up. And in the Canadian tradition, of course, making sure that their costume will fit over top of a snowsuit, because you never know what you might find on Halloween. Of course, November 1st is All Saints' Day. Most of our congregations will celebrate that on the first Sunday in November, so that'll be Sunday, November 6th. That's what we'll be doing here at St. Augustine, is we'll celebrate All Saints' Day on November 6th. Also on November 6th, the community of All Saints downtown here in Windsor is going to be celebrating their 170th anniversary. What a fantastic shining of the light that has been going on there for 170 years. So if you'd like to join them for their 10 o'clock service, they would love to have you as they celebrate their 170 years of shining the light of Christ into the city of Windsor. I think that's probably enough for right now. There's going to be information coming out about our Advent Bible study very, very soon. We've got some fantastic information. Watch your deployment docs and other emails for that information. And watch our Facebook page as well, The Sent, God's Church Deployed. Watch our Facebook page for more information around that. As we head towards Advent and eventually into the celebration of Christmas, there will be lots of different community ministries and so on that will be starting up for the Advent season. Lots of studies, lots of opportunities for us to grow closer to God, and also lots of opportunities for us to shine those lights for others to see. So on this particularly foggy day, I would like to wish you all the very best blessing that I can offer. I want to share with you, some of you may have been watching the message from the truck and aren't familiar with my usual closing. And I just want to share that with you. I just want to share that with you for a second. When I offer to the community, may you keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down, that's a bit of a blessing that truck drivers often offer to each other when they're heading down the highway. Of course, they speak to each other on the CB and that kind of thing, and lots of other phrases that come along. See you on the flip side. So, when you're going the other direction and all of those kinds of things. But one of the blessings that they give each other is that they wish that you keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down. In other words, keep the wheels on the road and the cab in the air as we continue to roll down the highway safely with each other. So as we continue to roll down this Christian highway safely with each other, I invite you to keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. God's blessing to you all from this week's Message from the Truck. Bye for now.